Good morning, Hilda.
Good morning. Welcome to Take Action Training. I am Julie.
And I am Jess.
Together we are socially inclined. And today we have an awesome training for you today. So it's basically social interaction, engagement, how to really grow your social media networks. And we are super excited to bring it to you because this is the biggest part of social. It's not just post and run or posting.
Yeah, this is your missing piece, especially if you feel like you have been doing everything right and you spend all this time on promotional content and then you're filling in with the Your Social Plan content and it's beautiful, but it just keeps not getting where you want it to go. It's because you're missing the social part of social media. Yeah, Linda, I know. She says, I admit I am bad at this. And you know what? So are we sometimes.
Yep.
So
we all can be. So that's what we want to make sure we all acknowledge that and then really dive in. And, we all have 24 hours in a day. It depends on what you want to spend it on. So we want to explain why this, if you can carve out 5 or 10 minutes a day for this will increase your likes tenfold or your presence tenfold. It has a lot to do with the algorithm that we talk about all the time. So.
Exactly. And I just dropped in case Paulette's having trouble with the screen share, I'm not sure why, but regardless, I just dropped the resource so you can open it up and follow along and you can just listen to our voices if you want.
Exactly. I think on mobile, she may be on mobile and it's just a different environment. We need to do a little demo of what it looks like on mobile.
Oh yeah, because I've never done it on mobile. I've never had to call in.
It's very different. You have to click a button to be able to see the screen share versus us. So hopefully we'll find that. So,
gotcha.
Anyway, but we are going to try to power through this one today because time is money. And we want you to be able to end this with doing a little bit of interaction so that you can see the results. So we talk about habits a lot. So this is one that you're going to want to make a habit.
For sure. Hey, Debbie, can you just make a note of Linda's, what she wants us to cover on Thursday for office hours? Yeah. So today is a daily habit that is really going to transform your business. And we were kind of talking about it. And I think just 7 days, if you showed up for an extra 10 minutes and was social on social media, in a week, you will see a huge difference in the dispersion of your content and the number of news feeds that you're landing on. So I love this little, I don't know, what do you call this? Content is king, but interaction is queen, and you have to have both to make it in today's wild social media kingdom. It's no longer enough. For those of you who saw me on my live video earlier today in the group, it was kind of more of like just focusing on content is a very 2012 kind of thing to do. That's what we were doing. That was what was being taught in our space during that time. But now it has to come with that interaction because the algorithm is so smart and it's becoming so responsive to those who are social on social media.
Exactly. And it's no secret that we sell automation. We sell done for you services with the dashboard. Those are all shortcuts to help you get to this third part that is so important that will all bring it full circle for you. So anyway, this is probably the most important part.
Yeah, but it's what I love is the symbiosis of it, right. The symbiotic relationship. We are coming forth kind of like with an olive branch, if you will. Like maybe this seems counterintuitive, but maybe it also should give you insight into what our motives are, and that is to really, really help you guys. So we sell, like Julie mentioned, we sell the content, the done for you content, but that is not that's just the start. So we give you all the shortcuts, like Julie mentioned. And then when you pull this full circle, that's whenever it becomes really valuable. And that's when it becomes really magical. And that's where we really get those aha moments from the entrepreneurs that are willing to go the extra step, listen to exactly what we're telling them, and utilizing that content as the tool that it is. Because you have to be proactive if you want to be visible on social media. You can't just post great stuff and run.
Exactly. Called post and ghost. Can't do it anymore. You could.
You could. I remember a time where you could, but you do have to be there.
All right. And the reason is, and don't tune out. Everybody wants to like go run when we talk about the algorithm, but we're going to talk about it in a really easy to understand format. So we've talked about it tons and tons on past Take Actions, office hours, everywhere. The algorithm can be your friend. This is the thing that's going to make it be your friend. So the algorithm favors likes, comments, shares, interaction. That's what we're talking about today, is interaction. So the starting point is to post a piece of content. The next thing is it's got to have some kind of interaction, or it's going to die a pretty quick death, pretty quick. So old pieces of content can be revived through this interaction strategy. So the main takeaway is this is a vital piece to help the algorithm. So yes, you can post all types of content and not ever go back and respond to the comments if you ask a question or whatever. And it still might have some legs and go pretty far, but you are the juice that's going to make it work. So your interaction and re-interaction will do that.
Exactly. And that's how you can kind of leverage this interaction strategy on a piece of content you post. But there's also a lot you can do that has nothing to do specifically with your content. And we're going to talk about both of those today, but you'll need both of them. You'll need, yes, of course, that seems so, such a given to me that you should respond to comments on your own content. But what a lot of people don't realize is that just reaching out and organically interacting with content that your ideal person is putting out, or content that's in a group where your people might hang out, being present there, even if it's not your content. And as we'll talk about, commenting on, starting conversations on threads, will actually get your content on more news feeds because of how the algorithm I wanted to pull up that credit score, the way Julie talks about it being a credit score, but it all plays into, like a credit score factors 80, 100 different things. Of course, no one knows specifically. Well, I guess there are people deep in the droves of Facebook and their technical department that knows exactly what all components are used. But that's one of the components. When you're out there and you're interacting, the algorithm says, oh, this person's social. And even though the content that you're about to post has nothing to do with the content that you're interacting on in that group, you're going to get more legs on that post, and you're going to get more newsfeed distribution because you were proactive and because you were interacting and being social on social media.
Exactly. And there are so many ways that you can do this.
Yeah.
Ways.
All right. So that was the what and the why.
Yeah. So the why is just such a big part. And for me, always, we only have so much time in the day. I always have to know the why so I can weigh as to whether it's important. We are telling you, if that just sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher, this is one of the most important things that you can do. So with that, and again, we've had previous TATs on Facebook group strategy. We talked about this like going and joining other groups and being visible in those groups. We've talked about in Facebook Focus, having your profile where it is dialed in so that if someone wants to find out more about you, they go to your profile, they learn more, they find your page, they follow your page, then they start seeing your posts. So in working in all of these other places, you're setting yourself up to be the expert in whatever your niche is. And then people are drawn to you. Again, we talk about attraction marketing all the time. This is the component for attraction marketing and getting your stuff higher in the news feed, whatever. All right. Exactly. So the how. All right. So we're sold on the why. All right. We're sold. No more. All right.
How do you do this, Julie?
Yep. All right. So obviously we talked about, we put out content that helps you to stand out. So obviously you're going to want to, whether we help you or whatever, you're going to want to put out a certain amount of posts every single day. You want to plan a strategy for that. Okay. Consistency is key, queen. Actually, we need to redo that because we've got content, consistency, and then interaction. So consistency is high up in the algorithm as well. So plan your posts.
Content and consistency are one in this. Because your content, it's not just stagnant content. It's about when it's being posted. So, of course, your content and the frequency with which it's posted is king.
Exactly. Thank you for clarifying.
I just see why I aid myself right there.
Yep. So that's perfect. But so it's got to start. You got to start with something. But let's just say, obviously the whole goal is to have your posts seen more. Well, if you're not posting, they're not going to be seen more. You can still have people reach out, but the starting point is to come up with a strategy for it. If it has to be that I'm going to post, 4 days a week, one time, that's fine. Set a schedule and stick to it. Okay. So whatever you can muster to make that happen. All right. Number 1. All right. You want to go?
Sure. Next thing, this is really simple. This part is really simple. You always want to check for people who have come into your social media realm. So people who have started following you, new people that you've noticed that maybe have started commenting that you're not friends with. You want to check for new followers. Decide if you want to follow them back. Obviously, you don't have to follow back everyone that follows you on Instagram, but it will benefit you to take a look at the ones who are following you and follow those back who might have something that interests you or that has value that you would like to see more on your newsfeed. Because again, the more you interact, the better. And the more you have people who are creating content that you're going to be cued to interact with, the more natural it will feel.
For sure. And we didn't put here, but as a part of we have a lot of direct marketers. Your upline is teaching you to reach out and friend new people that might be good prospects. So I do want to mention that here, that can be part of the strategy as well in with this. So check for new followers, look for new followers. So it does, that's not appropriate. I don't know if appropriate is the right word, but that's not applicable in all niches per se. There can be some negative connotation, but I do want to say if that's part of your mix and you want to follow, friend 5 new people every day, write it down as one of the things that you want to do. There are a lot of people that make a lot of sales do that.
For sure. Right.
Review, mentions, and shares. Say thank you, obviously. So you have notifications on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on LinkedIn, wherever you're busy posting and interacting. Check your notifications. Be sure if anyone has commented, liked, shared, mentioned anything. Be sure to also go back and acknowledge that, thank them, add some more juice to it with another comment. The more, if you can get a conversation going there, not only are you having that conversation on that one post for that person to see, but anyone else, if it's in a group, they're able to see those, and you are selling yourself. You're selling your expertise in those replies. So,
yeah, and I just wanted to add to that. I'm sorry, Julie. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, that's good.
I was just going to say, it should tip you off that it's important to Facebook and Instagram that they notify you about all of these things. You literally get a little red bell that tells you someone commented or messaged you. You know, messages are even harder to ignore. That's because it's important to Facebook that you know about that and that you respond if you want to. So that that should also be kind of like a vital business behavior, if you will.
Sure. And I want to say with this, so many people get lost in the scroll. So you go to Facebook to check a notification, you act on it, and then, 20, 30, in some cases, hours go by and you have like gotten lost in the scroll. So Jessica is a huge time block person. So it might help you to set certain times. So again, we're coming up with a structure that is perfect for you and your timeline. So does that mean that you can do this twice a day? Say at 7 in the morning and 7 in the evening, whatever, but come up with a plan and try to stick to it. Again, we're asking you to do this like for 7 days. So think about what is possible and resist the urge to just aimlessly scroll, which is such a huge time suck. One last point about that is that you can avoid that. The social media dashboard actually has where you can reply to messages, you can reply to comments, you can do it right in the social inbox. So that helps to squash the aimless scrolling.
Exactly. But if you cannot help yourself, like me, and you just happen to not be a YSP Pro member, that's okay. My suggestion for that is to put that little block on your schedule 15 minutes before you have something else that's non-negotiable. So then, for instance, 15 minutes before Take Action Training goes live, or 15 minutes before Coffee and Questions go live, or 15 minutes before I have to get on a call with Julie. That way, I know that I have 15 minutes, and when that call comes in, when that time comes, I have to go, my attention has to redirect. Because otherwise, yes, when I started in network marketing, I used to spend 8 hours a day on social media, and sales were dismal. And that's because I wasn't doing the things that make money, the things that generate income and sales. So beware of that and put that little block. You really need 30 minutes max a day to do this, really. So 2 15-minute blocks or 1 30-minute block, and just make it non-negotiable that you're going to stop.
Exactly. And when you start getting traction from this and you see that it is working, you can renegotiate with yourself how long you spend on that. Because if the ROI for the time is there, you need to do more of it. So this is the framework to give you to trial and error and see exactly what works for you. But for sure, just don't aimlessly
keep a check on it for sure,
because it happens like quickly. All right, this is one of my favorite ones.
This is the big one.
It is one of the best ways to grow and be seen. And again, you're going to want to do the same exact thing here as you've done with the other. You're going to comment on other people's posts. You're going to make a plan. If it's 10, if it's 5, if it's 30, whatever, something that is non-negotiable that you will do. If you will take the time to do this every single day, in 7 days, you will see the difference in your analytics for sure. So the reason is, again, we've covered that you're setting yourself up as the expert. You want to think about the people that are in your niche that have the same followers as to the ones that you're commenting on. So if you are a wellness person, you want to, busy moms, all right? You want to comment on theirs. You want to give them a little tip. There's so many different things. You're not, you want to make it a valuable little piece that you are sharing. So many different ways to do this.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that's adding value, but don't be afraid to also just comment. If there's someone that that you need to be on their news feed I used to do this a lot with people that we were prospecting. You can go find a piece of content they've posted recently. Obviously, don't be a weirdo by commenting on something from months ago, but it's not necessary. If the opportunity to introduce a tip or something is not there, don't force it. Just say something about how adorable their puppy is and how, you have a puppy too, and you treasure that time together, and change the word puppy for anything, kid, pizza, whatever it is. But you just want to be there, and you want it to be a real comment so that, first of all, it doesn't feel forced and mechanical. And second of all, because you want to be social. So be social.
Right. And if you'll think about your own feed right now, and when you are interacting in your feed, normally, the people that you comment on, especially if they comment back on there, soon, Facebook will realize, oh, they have some type of relationship. There's only so much room in the feed, Now, the people that scroll for 2 hours, they can see a lot of things, but the average, when people get on, Facebook is smart. It wants to put the most important relationships at the top of your feed, plus the ads, but the most important relationships. So by establishing that comment, the person typically will respond. Facebook says, ding, ding, ding. Okay. They, whether it's an old relationship, new relationship, whatever. So if you are prospecting a certain person or whatever, you can do it again in a little bit. And Facebook, ding, 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 again. It will help to show, you will start showing on their feed. So if you've got something that you can sell to them, if they're an excellent prospect. So again,
exactly.
You'll see when you start doing this, how it works.
Exactly. And this last one it kind of can go hand in hand. So if you're doing 10 comments a day, some of those can go into your ideal groups and ideal hashtags. So the groups is going to be more for Facebook, and the hashtags is going to be more for Instagram, at least currently where we are right now. So pick the top 3 of each. We talked about Facebook groups in a previous Take Action training, 2 different ways. One, how to run a dynamite one that people cannot wait to join and then buy your stuff from. And then 2, how to interact in a group, particularly to attract people from that group into your group or into your sphere so they can buy your stuff. So if you need to know more about that, go to our Take Action training page and sign up for those replays and get in there and get learned so that you can go forth and do the thing. But you want to pick 3 of each. So, and these are not just like, these are not your fluffy fun groups that you go to chill out. These are your groups where your ideal client lives, on social media, the groups that they're in. So you want to go there and you want to interact, find those people, and respond to comments or questions that they might have made. And then whenever you are more visible in that group, you will get seen more because you have been interacting. And the same thing goes for the hashtags on Instagram. Find out what hashtags your people are using. Again, I hate to say it, but we've already done 30 Take Action trainings, and 2 of them were specifically on hashtags and how to leverage their power to grow your business. So find those 3 hashtags that your ideal clients are using, get in that hashtag on Instagram, and find some people to comment on their content or comment on their comments, because a lot of times you'll find them on trending posts with that hashtag, and they're actually already in the comments, and you would just respond to their comment.
Exactly. And by the same training that we had on the hashtags, that we were talking about small, medium, large, mega hashtags, those, when you're researching the 3, you want to at least do 3 to begin with until you find out what's working for you. But try to pick medium to small, just so you can be seen. You don't get lost in a sea. If you go to the Explore page and you find the biggest hashtag and there's a million comments on it, you're not going to be seen. If you go to one that's got 15 or 20 and people are interested in it, they're going to read. So
exactly.
Use a little, it's going to be a little bit of trial and error, but again, you have got to reverse engineer this to think about where your target market is, okay, where they are hanging out. And then that's where you want to be. And one last point about the groups is the more you're active in a group, a lot of groups have badges turned on. So you just having that badge beside your name, if you're a top fan or if you're an expert, I can't think of what all the lingo is for those, but just by seeing those, because you've been active in those groups, helps to also plant that seed in the people that are reading those. So,
which is important.
It is. So 7 days, I want you to map out what you are going to accomplish. Be non-negotiable with yourself. Be non-negotiable with the time frame. Okay. So it may take you, until you get into a rhythm, it may take you a little bit longer, but whatever your goal is, you make sure that you meet it every single day so that you can see the results. If you have the dashboard, you can see all the analytics in there. If you don't, you can go to your insights on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you're interacting at, and you'll be able to see a spike, I promise.
It would be so great if we had some kind of organizational tool that we could give these people so that they could use it for 7 days and then come back next week on Tuesday and tell us how fabulous it was.
Bam! You asked. Ta-da! All right. So we have put together, it's a productivity planner. This is just a starting point. You can rework this however you want it, but it's got not only things for social, but some of your other, we've got direct marketers in here. So like your projects that you're working on, the people that you're working on. But if you will see, let me see if I can zoom in on this. But there's a download from here.
So that download button.
Download in the download.
Yep. Yeah. That part right there.
Yeah, let's just keep it here, because most of these business building things that have to do with social are across the bottom. I do want to say I come from the paper planning days, and some people still like to write it down. So whether you write it down, fill it in, use it to make your own, however you do it, some of these things are quite important to your day. All right. But we'll skip over and we'll come back down here. So,
there we go.
Exactly.
So these are the things that we talked about right here. Obviously, we sell really dynamite social media content, and we show people how to turn promotional prompts into really attractive, engagement-rich content. So those are on your left side there, social media posts. We suggest 3 a day if you can manage it, or at least once a day on certain platforms if there's absolutely nothing, if that's all you can manage. But the social interaction tasks in that bottom right corner is implementing everything that we just talked about. So people that you added today, that can be people. We talked about it from a network marketing standpoint, but it can be important regardless of your niche. So,
and it can be if friending people or making connections is not your thing, change it to pages there that you followed. Again, niche specific pages that have, like if you're brick and mortar and you're a local business, you can friend other or follow or pages and comment on their pages that have a similar market as you. Same with groups. You can list groups that you may have joined. I do want to stress, be careful joining too many groups. You will get overwhelmed quickly. So you want to pick the top 3, which is what we suggested above. So don't just go out and join a bunch of groups. Even though you could use that as a strategy. I don't think it's the best use of time at all. You want to be active in those groups.
Exactly.
All right. And then just little check boxes here for I checked my notifications, I checked my messages, I checked my comments.
The comments one is crucial. There are 12 boxes there. We challenge you to do 10 a day. And again, this is not the one where you're responding to comments on your own content. This is where you're going and finding people to comment on their content.
For sure. People, pages, in groups, any even though we've got another place for that, whatever is pertinent, but reward yourself by writing it down. So I'm that person. I'll write something down just so I can check it off. So I know there's got to be a few more of you in here. So. And then again, the last, the top groups and hashtags I engaged with, that is going to be a big place to find new people. So be sure to write those down there as well.
For sure. So, yeah, and not just finding new people like that. So that is where, if the algorithm scares you, it's because you don't understand how to wield its power. Wield its power. I was like, surely it's not yield, but yeah, you have to learn how to use the algorithm to your advantage, because it's there, it's not going anywhere. So today, that is literally what we just showed you how to do. And we know that it's going to bring you a lot of, if you stick to it, and if you are consistent in doing this for 7 days, it is going to greatly improve your engagement, and it's going to do it very quickly. Because when you go and you find these hashtags, and you're finding people, all it does is it puts you on their radar. That it puts you kind of in their algorithm to maybe show content to them that they wouldn't otherwise have seen if you hadn't gone and done that quick little action of finding them out in the social media space.
Exactly. And just to make it super easy, I just dropped the productivity sheet here, so you can just grab it from here as well if you are on your phone or whatever and it's harder to get it from the document.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Perfect. That made it easy. Yeah. We're all about the easy button here.
For sure.
All right. So that's go ahead.
I was going to say, are there questions around this? I know that there were some questions before, so Debbie's going to hopefully drop them for us here.
Yeah, Debbie, I think that question, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she wanted that added to the Thursday Coffee and Questions, because we're not going to show the YSP dashboard right now, I don't think.
Right.
So the YSP help is for Thursday.
Yes. The short answer to that is yes. Shannon wants to know if you can add posts and videos. Yes. To the dashboard. Yes. So in your post, so that is pertinent to this TAT, because if you're using the dashboard, you can schedule your posts and your own content, not just our content. So, all right.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we'll be discussing that on Thursday, Shannon.
Yes. Deanne says all about that easy button. Hashtag all about that easy button. Love it.
Yeah, Deanne, I want to know too, because right up before that, she said she hasn't been using the planner, but she's going to do this for the next 7 days. So yay. She has a master class later this week, and she's going to see if it affects attendance. It will affect attendance in some way. So come back and report.
I have one other pro tip that goes along with this. So you may have heard it in the past. So if you were going to go live, then if you will use this strategy 5 to 10 minutes prior to going live, Facebook will also, you get more juice on your live. So it will show it to more people, especially if you were commenting and having a conversation or whatever with people that would be your target market. So they would be shown that you were live. Exactly. So it's a big deal. So just to reiterate that, if you go live, be sure to do this comment strategy 5 to 10 minutes ahead of time.
Oh, so Deanne, it's the comments. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click around on Facebook. Yep. So comments, it's the action of letting Facebook know that you're there and you're social. And those recent interactions, when you hit that go live button, will make it more likely that that you get dispersed more quickly across the news feeds.
Exactly. So I'd love to hear your feedback on that after you do that next week. So come back and tell us.
Hilda, with people in the group or those that are on the group but on their personal pages?
So it depends on where you're going live at too. So if you're in the group, you're going to want to comment with people or do comments in the group, because they're the only people that get the notification on that. If it's on a page, it can be anywhere. If it's on your profile, it can really be anywhere. Just be active prior to that. And did you have anything else on that, Jess?
No, I don't. I was reading Joanne's question. So this all works for groups as well to get more people? Yes. Yes, it does. Bring in the value.
Trying. I can't wait till everyone comes back with some feedback.
Yeah, so, but let us know in the chat right now, is this something that you knew about or you considered? Did you know how important it was to be social on social media if you want your content to be seen? Because we kind of like to hear that instant gratification.
And again, the whole automation, with being able to schedule ahead, whether you've got a dashboard or you do it straight through Facebook, by doing that pulls you away a little bit from obviously being on Facebook. So you want to be sure to schedule this time.
Exactly.
And you're still scared of the algorithm.
Right. No more fear. A full focus planner.
Yeah, it's hard when you're in business. There's only 9,000 things to do during the day. So whatever works for you. There's people that paper planners, notifications on their phone, Office 365, calendar, Google Calendar, whatever works.
I am still just a huge fan of 12-week year and time blocking. Just am.
Yeah, Miriam, I think Miriam, and most of us are probably with Miriam. If you knew it, so she says she knows how important it is, just lazy in doing it. We'll work on it for the next 7 days. It's like starting an exercise program. All right. Oh, say your thing, Jessica, to get the action.
Oh, yeah. Julie loves this. Why do you keep forgetting it? This is like life-changing. Okay. So everyone thinks they're just sitting around waiting to be motivated, right? How many times have you been like, I want to do something, I just don't have the motivation? It's true. You don't have the motivation because you're not doing the action. And that's where these kind of part of the place where these take action trainings came from, because I actually read something from a quote by Zig Ziglar that a stressed mind is an idle mind. And the best way to relieve mental stress is to produce something. And that's the same thing. You have to do the action in order to get the motivation. And then once you get the motivation, you are motivated to take more action. And it creates this wonderful, I always struggle with what that's called, but like it just keeps it going. You take the action, you get the action, you get the motivation, which encourages you to take more action, you get motivated. But we all fall off, someone gets sick or circumstances happen. So then you have to take the action again to get the momentum. Thank you. Positive momentum going in the right direction.
Correct. And the word, I think, in that whole circle should be satisfaction. So take action, satisfaction, and then it's going to create, when you are satisfied with a result, it's going to prompt you to do it again because you've gotten the benefit from it. So whether it's whatever it is. So apply this, think about that this week. Every time when you're going, I don't want to do this, do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Exactly. These are some great comments. How many times should we interact with other consultant posts as compared to non-consultants? So I assume you're talking about Pampered Chef consultants. So that's kind of a loaded question. You're wanting to interact with people who you want to see you, who you want to interact with you. It's you give a little, you get a little. So I would almost say none to other consultants.
Right.
And spend most of your time on non-consultants.
Right. In groups in cooking groups, in mom groups, in places that your ideal customer is hanging out. What you don't want to be seen is that you're trying to poach clients or customers, whatever it is, from the other consultant, in my opinion. So we wouldn't go post on, I mean, if someone is, I don't know, in indirect marketing, I'm just going to say no instead of dragging that out. But there's so many other places that you can post. So go find some groups, if nothing else.
Maybe we should do a TAT on scheduling.
Time blocking, scheduling, how to get the most out of your time. I agree. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. I was trying to see.
I'm screenshotting some of these.
Paula says her connection is bad. Maybe you have the replays and you can go watch on the replays. Hopefully the replay will be good. We're not cutting out today. That's good. And if you do want to get the replays, Debbie might have it on her clipboard. I would have to free type it, but grab them here. They are changing. I know we've been saying that for quite a while. Oh
man, maybe we'll do scheduling next week.
Yeah. Let's see. What is that? She asked how many times should we be? I lost the comment here. I mean, at minimum, at least 10. The more you can do, the better. Facebook will reward you. Riley says, hey, Riley, yes to the scheduling, LOL.
Nice.
All right, and there is your link for Take Action. Barb likes scheduling. Oh, everybody likes scheduling. All right, that's for the win.
That means...
That means spread out by platform or within one. You're going to make the determination. I would start to begin with on whatever you're most active in and going to get the better result from. When you start getting some satisfaction, you'll want to do more of it. Okay. So yes, you can split it 50-50 between Facebook and Instagram. The main thing is just to get started. It's like, when you start an exercise program, no one wants to, but when you get into it, it's like, oh, I can see the results. And, it's so much easier to get up the next morning and do it.
Exactly. I'm sorry. You're cracking me up. Nikki or Savita. The whole purpose of 12-week year, you got to sit down and work through it. Of all the books, that is not going to be the one that you're going to listen to on 2X and get the value.
Shannon says where to listen. You can get them off Audible.
If you have to listen, but you can also just order a hard book, like it's $18.90 or whatever.
Run to your Barnes and Noble.
Yep.
If you want to do it that way. But yes, there is some working in that one, obviously.
Yeah, because it's a book about cultivating habits. So anything that you're going to be doing that, you need to sit down and be writing and kind of brainstorming and things. So
get in that headspace.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well,
perfect.
So we want to hear feedback after your 7 days. You're going to come to the group. There'll be a post there. We may delay putting the post out until next week, just so it'll give you time to kind of get to use it. Or maybe we need to have an accountability post. Ooh, let's do that. That you can come back and respond yes, that you did your social interaction strategy for the day, and come to the group and say, yes, I did it. All right. Nikki says 7-day consistency. She's in. Awesome. All right. Accountability. That's another big thing with entrepreneurship. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording. And
yep.
Thank y'all for joining us, and tune in next week for possibly scheduling.
Productivity. We'll keep it broad for now and call it productivity.
Perfect.